Okay, this is the reading for the Virgo female in a single relationship. So what I do is I have a House of Love spread that I put out on the table here. I'm using the Romance Tarot cards and the Sex and Love Tarot cards, and we kind of just go through. Now the roof, the three cards that make up the roof, I assign to really the circumstances under which your next relationship will come in. So we kind of jump to relationships no matter what. You may be single during the month of February, but this will be your next significant relationship coming in. And then we go into that, give you highlights from that, and then try and help you, you know, be prepared for the next part that comes in. Now, the cards in the house, I have 4 of them and 4 clarifiers. And when we go through that, that's the next significant relationship once it's in full swing. So I'll start. The first card I get for the Virgo female, singled, is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is that fiery type energy. Though he's been fired up all his life, you know, I get the sense from this card that he's kind of done with the fire. He's ready to settle. He's ready to slow things down. Though he's as passionate as he ever was and more directed and focused than he ever was, he's in the mode where he wants to settle down. So this is the kind of energy that may be coming forward here in the future. Now the next card I get on the sex side of things is the Ace of Pentacles. So we have a fire and an earth type energy, which would symbolize, right, the physical connection, right? You being the earth and him being the fire. So we have the Ace of Pentacles here, which is that real grounded safety feeling that you get within a relationship physically. Feeling safe and comfortable with that person, knowing that they're working within your boundaries, you know. And another thing about the King of Wands is that he is smart. He's been through a lot, and he knows, you know, he knows how to treat a woman. So that's really the safety that I feel like you have the ability to feel in the relationship. So the next card we get is the King of Swords. So that's interesting. We have 2 kings here. So you may be, you know, having a lot of options here throughout this single process where you may not be nailing one down, you know, but have a few through the dating process that's going to linger for a while. Maybe choosing to be single will go on here. So the King of Swords is really another one who's been through the mill. But on the negative side, he's a lot more jaded than the King of Wands. He's a lot more cloaked. By that I mean he holds back a lot more of himself in order, you know, he wants to know the truth. He wants to see through the truth, and he don't take no shit. That kind of person. I don't think any of the kings really do, to a certain degree. I mean, the King of Cups is not going to take no emotional shit. He knows where his emotion stands. He's not going to put up with someone being emotionally out of tune. And this guy is not going to put up with no lies and deceit. I mean, you really have to communicate clearly with this one in order for him to stick around. And then the King of Wands, well, he's interested in action. If you're not going to give him any action, then he's gone, that kind of thing. And I don't mean that just specifically in the bedroom, but he has to see a result from you. You have to show him how you feel, not say how you feel, because he's not going to last long either. So we have some serious contenders here. And it doesn't seem like you landed just one, but we'll continue. Now, the air sign is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, and they're very vibrant, very communicative, social people, but nonetheless, I mean, he's a king, so he's been through the mill and he's not going to put up with no shit. Kind of sounding these guys a little negative, but this is the bottom line with them. That's what they're going to be focusing on. The air sign, the communication. You be direct with me, I'll be direct with you, and we can get along. The fire sign, if you are active with me, I'll be active with you, and that's what means most, right? And then again, in the bedroom, we have the Seven of Swords with this air sign. So the Seven of Swords is more about not feeling that connection in the bedroom. So you may have a communication with this air sign, but in the bedroom things don't translate so well because we got turning the back, and not only are we not communicating, but we're not physically communicating either. So the next card I got, and this is all in the meeting, okay? So it's interesting. I'll have to summarize here a little bit, I think. The next card I get for the romance is the High Priestess. So we have, interesting. Okay, I'm going to just jump into the next card, which is the Death card. Sitting right next to the High Priestess, because I got to kind of define these two together. Now, the Death card is about endings and transitions, right? So, and the Empress is about using your intuition to guide you and being smart and knowledgeable with all that you've learned. So I feel like you are maybe not doing that. You may be abandoning your intuition, abandoning the knowledge that you've had to indulge here, maybe in both these areas, or in one of them specifically, where you've had a situation where you're just not listening to your intuition. Maybe there's red flags coming up. You're not taking note. Nonetheless, I feel too, this is something, while you're single, okay, you may have, okay, this scenario, they're kind of laying it out for me. You may have had a relationship that you cut from, or you were cut from, or had in the past that has jaded you to a degree where you're just cutting everything off. Your intuition, your emotions, you may be getting those mixed up, your ego, all of that. I feel like we're indulging in the ego at this point and scrapping the intuition. I think we're going in the ego direction. It's like, I want to feel good. I want to make, and everybody has a right to do that at different points in their lives. So I'm not judging that, but this is really what's going on. You're scrapping all of the knowledge to indulge in a certain process here. Okay. So that's really what I'm getting in the roof. So I'm not getting one specific area, but nonetheless, we're abandoning our knowledge and sense of self in order to go in the direction of a male. So then now I'm going to go into the house cards to describe the relationship, the next one that comes in. Now, this is interesting because I've got a lot of characters here. Okay. So we either have a very complex person that you're going in the direction of, or we have many contenders again and nothing that really is solid, okay? So we may have a bit of frivolousness going on with the partners. So the first card I get in the house is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is really about being emotionally immature. Getting what you want because you want it and not worrying about other people's feelings, not worrying about feelings, period. You may not be taking anybody's feelings into account, including your own. Because I feel like the Empress, she's higher on her throne there. She's earned her right to walk forward into her intuition. Everything that comes to her, she deserves. But there's an end to that. So there's something about you turning your back to all that you've learned and just going, I don't care. I'm going to take what I want. And it comes from that emotional insecurity. I'm going to make myself happy, but I'm not going to have to answer to anybody for it, that kind of thing. Not taking responsibility is another thing. So be aware of that. The next card I get to signify that on the sex side of things is the King of Cups. So we have an emotional insecurity here, and then we have a King of Cups character. So I feel like there might be someone coming in, okay? Because this, I'm getting a true vibe here that we're single and we're loving it, and we're going in a direction where we're just like, you know, taste testing, okay? So the King of Cups is here, and he's a very soft, gentle, accommodating personality, and he's very kind and very like, yeah, he's very accommodating is what I'm getting to the Virgo female. So I'm feeling like the Virgo female may be taking advantage of that king, but nonetheless, the king is not unaware. He's a king, so he knows. It's his choice to accept that or not accept that, and he's seems like he's one of the few that are in here. Now, the next card I get is 14, which is Temperance. So again, that's the thing, and we may have to watch here that we're not indulging in the drink and going out and just kind of mingling a little too much for our own good. But nonetheless, that's what it is telling you here. Temperance. Be tempered. Be aware of not overdoing things, right? And the King of Cups is right there. Emotionally, I feel like you're in for a little bit of a trip here. So the card I get to expand on the Temperance card is the Ten of Cups. So again, over emotions, right? Running your emotions ragged over something. And we have the King of Cups right in line with all of that. So you may have this emotional man coming at you that you are as well getting emotionally stirred up about, okay? Now the next card I get is the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups is, I mean, that's getting to know each other, getting to know the person socially, romantically, right? And in this deck, even though the Two of Cups is usually the bringing together, I mean, it does symbolize that. It symbolizes, hey, it's just that locking of eyes, the first moment, and then it's like, I want to get to know that better. I want to know what's there. So what I get on the sex side of things, to expand on that, is the Knave of Swords. So the Page of Swords, right? So that Page of Swords is really objectifying that woman there. He's like, I want, but again, he's not engaged fully, but she's undressed, waiting. But he's, you know, there's still a process here. I feel like there's a distance between you and your goal. And if that's the King of Cups here, there's something there that's kind of holding you back, because if it was up to you, you'd be all in all the time, 24/7. That's really the sense I'm getting, because it's almost like there's something universally tempering you from indulging completely, okay? So whatever that means for you. The next card I get on the romance, 9, the Hermit card. Now, the Hermit card is really, I mean, he's holding that lantern, and that lantern is really trying to illuminate him, right? And then there's a picture frame of someone from the past. So I feel like it has a lot going on, really, socially. I feel like there's a lot of players in her area there, and there's a lot of people kind of in her mix, but I feel like there's one that stands up above the rest, and it's that emotional, kind, caring, generous person. And I think that maybe that person is maybe not in line with all of the emotions that she's feeling for him, and that's why she can't connect to it, or there's a distance that I feel, or a gap there, because it's like, oh no, I'm feeling it for him, but he may not understand how much I feel, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then the next card I get to expand on the Hermit card, because the Hermit is really about going in and reviewing things. And in the regular deck, it's about reviewing yourself. In this romance deck, it's about reviewing relationships that you've had, right? Going in there and saying, what was my role in it? So not only are you busy outside of your relationship, but you're busy in your head going over other relationships that you've had. You got a variety of things going on in front of you, and your mind is going to things in the past. So what was good? What made me feel good? You know, which is all good because you really need to do that. And you come out on the sex side of things with the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is really about that connection that's made on all levels. If you look at this man, he is just holding her like she is everything to him. And that is really what I think you're dreaming about and hoping for and wanting. And I feel like you're looking in a certain direction. But I don't know if that's the same direction as this content, fully satisfied male that is at the end of the reading here. I feel like that is a different character than the one you're feeling attracted to, that Cups energy. I feel like the King of Wands may be a fiery, passionate, more passionate person, but nonetheless, it may be in your path to go down that road. Maybe in your path to test that out and go, yeah, that was close, but it's not the one. And then maybe you come across the King of Wands at an extended date, and then that flies through for you, you know. That may be what's going on here, but very busy. The Virgo single female, she's got very varied options around her, and very much social and getting out there, and um, busy, 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 busy. So the thing is here, we've got a lot of contenders, and a lot of things that we've come from and things that we're going to, and I think that she's starting to process all of that mentally and socially as well. So I feel like it's a good energy of just abundance over February. So for the Valentine's month, I feel like you're very much have your pick of any litter that you can go in the direction. Now it's just a matter of you lining up your lessons throughout and taking the time to overview that. So I feel like, you know, going into your next relationship, or what you choose, the direction that you choose to go in, you seem to be abandoning some of your intuition, and I would warn against that. You know, don't go in that jaded direction where we just because it's not gonna solidify anything for you. It's just going to confuse you and draw out your time that it takes to find that the partner that matches you completely. So I feel like he's down the road through a few partners here, but he's there nonetheless. And you just have to really be mindful of what it is that you want, or what you got out of this one, and then go forward with, yeah, I want that in that one, but I don't want the rest, you know. But focus on those things that you want, and eventually you'll get those, you know. And if it don't fit, don't make it fit. Don't compromise, because I feel like that's what the Death card on the High Priestess is saying. We're willing to sacrifice too much here, our happiness, really, and satisfaction in the relation. We don't want to do that. We want to be happy on all levels. And even though we can't see it outside of us, and maybe this Virgo female is not used to having a lull, you know, at such a degree. But I don't feel it for February. But maybe you have to go through that lull to really understand and feel in a heavy energy what it is that you truly want. Because with it all the time in your face, you don't have appreciation for it. When you release for it, when you release, the energy releases from you, meaning you're single and you don't deal with anybody, you really get a deeper understanding of what you yearn for, what you will and won't accept. So I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm saying there's just a heavy energy here of a lot of directions to go. So take your time in making those decisions, is what I'm saying. And the universe as well is saying, don't abandon any knowledge that you've gained so far to go forward. Because I feel like there's a sense here of the Virgo female going, I don't care what this red flag is, I want that. I want that one. And he's got 3 red flags hanging over his head, and you're like, I don't care, just give me, I want that. but there's something there, like I said, from an ego sense, right? That we need to get rid of. We need to scrub it. It's just not going to end up good. It's just going to elongate the process to get you where you want to be. But nonetheless, that may just be the path that you have to go to learn that lesson. So who am I to say, right? So for the Virgo female, a fun ride nonetheless. She's busy and she's got a lot of options. So happy Valentine's Day. Take care. Have fun.